We're back with Who Were They Wednesday, and this week we're talking about Joshua. Before Joshua was a leader, he was a servant. Before he led Israel into the promised land, he followed Moses into the presence of God. Joshua first shows up, not with a sword in his hand, but with obedience in his heart. Exodus tells us that he stayed in the tent of meeting even after Moses left. He learned that victory doesn't start on the battlefield. It starts in God's presence. Joshua was one of the 12 spies, and while 10 saw giants, it was only Joshua and Caleb who saw God's promise. Not because the land wasn't dangerous, but because God was faithful. Years later, after Moses was gone, the responsibility was heavy. The Jordan was flooded, and Jericho stood in the way. God doesn't tell Joshua to be talented or to rely on his own gifts. He tells him to be strong and courageous. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. Why? Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's obedience in spite of it. Joshua didn't win battles by great strategy alone. He won them by trusting God enough to march, even when the instructions didn't always make sense. At the end of his life, after the wars had been fought and the land was divided, Joshua draws a line in the sand and says, "Choose this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." So who was Joshua? A servant who became a leader. A man who believed God could do exactly what he said he would do. And a reminder that the promised land is not entered by strength, but by faith and obedience. His life also presents a wonderful question for all of us to answer. Each of us should choose each and every day who it is that we will serve. Is it our Heavenly Father? As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. This has been Blindly Obvious. If you like what you've heard, please follow, subscribe, and share the word. Peace, love, and God bless. And remember, the eyes mean nothing if the mind is blind.